Okay. Let's see what is going on today.
Другая, а во-вторых, мы не добиваемся капитуляции со стороны Украины. Мы настаиваем на признании реалий, которые сложились на земле. Принципиально другая, а во-вторых, мы не добиваемся капитуляции со стороны Украины. Мы настаиваем на признании реалий, которые сложились на земле. Я уже много раз говорил, что считаю русский и украинский народ одним народом на самом деле. В этом смысле вся Украина наша.
Yeah, so I saw this video, or I heard of it, where people were speculating that Putin is saying the whole of Ukraine belongs to him. No, not him, but to Russia, I think. So the whole of Ukraine is ours, in theory. And I may take the city of Sumy. So basically, this was just hitting my timeline, so I decided to check it out. And I'm sure a lot of you haven't seen it, so let's check it out.
Украины. Мы настаиваем на признании реалий, которые сложились на земле. Я уже много раз говорил, что считаю русский и украинский народ одним народом на самом деле. В этом смысле вся Украина наша. Безусловно, есть люди, их немало в соседней стране, которые стремятся к обеспечению своего суверенитета, независимости. Ну и дай Бог здоровья. И мы, кстати говоря, никогда не подвергали сомнению права украинского народа на независимость и суверенитет. Но, знаете, у нас есть такая старинная, это не поговорка, не притча, а старинное правило. Там, где ступает нога русского солдата, то наше. Но они создали угрозу нам, начали создавать по всей линии государственной границы с Украиной, в двух других соседних областях. К чему это привело? У них и так не хватает личного состава. А мы теперь вынуждены создавать зоны безопасности вдоль границ на очень многих участках. И они отвлекают туда свои вооруженные силы, которых и так не хватает на принципиальных участках вооруженной борьбы. Они забрались к нам в Курскую область, натворили там целую массу преступлений, причем преступления против гражданского населения. Мы их оттуда вывели с огромными для них потерями, а теперь вынуждены создавать зоны безопасности вдоль линии границ. В Сумской области глубина составляет где-то 10 до 12 километров, где-то там 8, 10, 12 километров. Дальше город Сумы, областной центр. У нас нет такой задачи забрать Сумы, но в принципе я этого не исключаю. Но почему? Почему мы это делаем? Потому что они для нас угрозу создают. Постоянно обстреливают приграничные территории. Беспокоит. Говорю без всякой иронии, без шуток. Конечно, очень много конфликтного потенциала, он растет. И у нас под носом, нас это касается напрямую. Конфликт, который мы переживаем на Украине, на этом направлении. То, что происходит на Ближнем Востоке. И, конечно, нас очень беспокоит то, что происходит вокруг ядерных объектов Ирана. Беспокоит то, к чему это может привести. И это требует, безусловно, нашего не только внимательного отношения к происходящим событиям, но и к поиску развязок, к поиску решений, причем желательно мирными средствами.
So he's not saying he's going to take any. I think he says they have a base or the territory there, but he's not ruling it out, but he has no interest in taking it. That's basically the summary of that one. Let me see. Is this one? Oh, this one right here. This one. Yeah, this one is Trump says Putin has to end the war. Yeah, let's this was not what's this one right here?
I think you just had a meeting with President Zelensky. Did you discuss any ceasefire in this Russo-Ukrainian war?
No, I wanted to know how he's doing. He was very nice, actually. You know, we had little rough times sometimes. He was couldn't have been nicer. I think he'd like to see an end to this. I do. I think what I took from the meeting couldn't have been nicer, actually. But I took from the meeting that he'd like to see it end. I think it's a great time to end it. I'm going to speak to Vladimir Putin, see if we can get it ended. But look, these are brave people. They're fighting these wars all over the place. You know, last week they had, I guess, close, I told you, close to 7,000 young soldiers, Russian and Ukrainian soldiers were killed, 7,000 in 1 week. It's crazy. It's crazy. So I'll be speaking to Putin. No, I had a good meeting with Zelensky, and I had a lot of good meetings. We had a lot of good meetings with a lot of people, a lot of great leaders. But he's fighting a brave battle. It's a tough battle. So let me just tell you, they do want to have the anti-missile missiles, okay, as they call them, the Patriots. And we're going to see if we can make some available. You know, they're very hard to get. We need them.
So this was a question. I actually saw this clip, right? I think they Global News cut that part out. So the question here was a lady whose husband is in the war front in Ukraine, asking if U.S. is going to supply Ukraine with the anti-ballistic missile or something. I don't know the name. So Trump is responding that yes, Zelensky did make that request, but they are still looking to supplying it to Ukraine. So that's a response directly here where he's saying, and yes, we might supply the missile. So let's take it back so you hear the start of that.
Okay, as they call them, the Patriots. And we're going to see if we can make some available. You know, they're very hard to get. We need them too. We were supplying them to Israel, and they're very effective, 100% effective. Hard to believe how effective. And they do want that more than any other thing, as you probably know. Vladimir Putin has been more difficult. Frankly, I had some problems with Zelensky. You may have read about him. And it's been more difficult than other wars. I mean, look, we just ended a war in 12 days that was simmering for 30 years, frankly. Look, Vladimir Putin really has to end that.
Was it ended though? I heard Ukraine was still striking Iran. I'm not sure how factual that was, but I heard Israel was still like dropping some things on
that war.
Yeah, there's this one really piqued my interest. This one right here. So this video really piqued my interest because wow, I really want to see it. I want to see if they decided that if Ukraine would join NATO or not, like what they were talking about, because it was a NATO summit, and also Russia had their own summit. I don't know what is happening right now. I don't know what's happening with my network. Okay, I guess we wait. Trump snubs Zelensky in front of NATO allies. Did he really? He just said he had a good conversation with Zelensky. So I don't think he snubbed. Oh, Zelensky was even in the meeting. That's the thing I don't get, right? If they don't want to accept Zelensky, or if he will not be a part of NATO, why is he in all of the NATO meetings? I think he was here last year as well. Yeah, let's see what that is about. Zelensky pick fight with new EU allies. What is happening? should show the video instead of. I want to see this one, but for some reason it's not playing because it's 26 minutes long. Oh, there we go. Oh no, this is not the right one. Yeah, I want to see the NATO summits and what went on. I think BRICS also had theirs. Yeah, because there was one with Putin and...
Conflict zone is at the NATO summit in The Hague, where leaders have gathered to commit to more hard military spending. But will it usher in a fairer NATO? And are the targets even enough to meet the growing threats and challenges? We sat down with the Prime Minister of Denmark, the President of the Czech Republic, and the Foreign Minister of Poland. Hello, everyone, and a very warm welcome to Defense Spending Toward a Fairer NATO. I'd like to begin with you, President Pavel. NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte has called for a quantum leap in NATO's collective defense with everything going on in the world right now. Is 5% of GDP even enough? What do European members of NATO need to feel safe?
Well, we will not be safe by sheer numbers. We'll be safe by capabilities. And this is what I was trying to stress from my times in NATO, that the Supreme Commander in Europe will not fight with the charts. He will fight with real troops and concrete capabilities, including strategic enablers. And that's why we should base our funding on true requirements that are stemming from a NATO defense planning process. And when we look at the projection today, and we speak about 5%, actually it is the reflection of needs that we were neglecting for decades, especially here in Europe. Number of countries were spending much less than was required, and that's why we were meeting our capability.
We'll come back to this one. I really want to see, like, there's something I'm looking for. The signs of war secure. No. Yeah, there's something I'm looking for regarding this.
Mr. President, Secretary General Rutte has described President Putin as an adversary, a threat, an enemy. Do you view him the same way? And in addition to that, you mentioned General Kane, your Chief of Staff, the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff.
General Kane.
Yes, he has said that Mr. Putin has territorial ambitions beyond Ukraine. Do you view that in the same way?
Possible. I mean, it's possible. I know one thing, he'd like to settle. He'd like to get out of this thing. It's a mess for him. He called the other day. He said, can I help you with Iran? I said, no, you can help me with Russia. Because, you know, in the last few weeks, we took care of India and Pakistan, Kosovo, Serbia. I think on Friday we have coming in, the Congo is coming in, and Rwanda is coming in. That was a vicious war that went on, a machete war. Heads chopped off all over Africa. They're coming in. We did two others in addition to that. Nobody's ever done anything like this. No, I consider him a person that's, I think, been misguided. I'm very surprised, actually. I thought we would have had that settled easy. I've settled 4 of them in the meantime. But he did call up, and he said, he's close to Iran. He'd like to help us get a settlement. I said, no, you help me get a settlement with you, with Russia. And I think we're going to be doing that too.
Yeah, I think I saw a little bit of the terms. I don't know.
Mr. President, Secretary General Rutte